Let's talk all things social media.
I don't love social media. It's ultimately a communication platform.
It is. It's a marketing platform. The platform is driven by consumers. If the consumers disappear, everything goes.
Ask yourself that question. Are you a consumer or are you a creator? And which one do you want to be? Because one of them really pays.
All social media at the end of the day is like you build a personal brand, you become an influencer, it's a business.
Yeah,
Anything you do on social
before.
media ends up being a business.
I don't love social media, but I love what it does for my businesses.
All right, welcome back to another episode of $1 Million Days.
Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever it is for you when you're listening to this. Good afternoon.
Whatever it is.
Hope you're having a $1 million day, because today we are back and we are tantalizing your earbuds. We're going to drop some knowledge bombs and we're going to have a bit of a laugh along the way as well.
Tantalizing's back.
It is. We haven't used it for a little while, so I thought I'd bring it back today.
It's one of my favorite words.
What's news, man?
We, well, when's this going to air? This will be March.
March. So 2 months down in the year, what have you done? What have you done in the last 2 months? Are you happy with what you've achieved? Are you not? The great thing is if you can look back, you can go, cool, I need to make some changes, I need to lift my game, or I'm pretty happy with where it's all going and you're hitting some goals, hitting some targets.
I'm probably a couple of weeks away from being at the end of the first quarter for the year.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Yeah. How are you traveling with it? You happy so far?
I am. I'm pretty happy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's been a good start.
We're hitting some good targets with the team, with personal stuff, with a whole range of things.
I do feel like, though, the year is starting to slip away. Like, holy shit, where's the time going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, do you feel that that's happened ever since you've gotten busier in your life?
What? Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. From the time I started business, really, it's like blinked and it's been 10 years. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, holy shit, how did that happen? And the busier you are, I think the quicker time does go. And one thing that I've also noticed is having kids. When you have kids, it's like you blink and they're teenagers. Do you know what I mean?
Because you see them grow, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, mine, always this tall?
Mine are still kids, but it's like, yeah, exactly right. They're growing and they're getting their personalities and becoming themselves. So I find that accumulated with the business side of things definitely makes time go quicker.
It's a good reminder, right?
Yeah, 100% it is.
Wake up.
Wake the fuck up. Why are you playing so small?
Okay. Topic of the day. Topic for today. Topic of the day? Call it what you want. Let's talk all things social media.
Let's do it.
What, if you had to share a message with someone who doesn't use social media right now, what would it be?
Good question. I'd be curious as to why they're not doing it, first of all.
Conspiracy theorist. Like,
could be.
I'm not going to give Facebook my data.
They already have it, first of all.
They,
even if you've never opened an account.
If you think you've got your own privacy, you're wrong. But what would you say? What has it done for you?
I don't love social media. Believe it or not. As much as I put out content, doing this podcast, everything it is, I've never loved social media. I've never been like, I can't wait to get on. Prior to me having a business, I wasn't a really big social media user. I didn't post very often. It wasn't, doing all those photos of my food and places and videos and selfies and all that sort of stuff. I never did that. I don't love social media, but I love what it does for my businesses.
So what changed it for you?
When I saw the flow-on effect and the positive effect and the business that it was bringing in, and the ability for me to help people too. It's a way to communicate. It's ultimately a communication platform.
It is. It's a marketing platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I say that to people all the time. Say, like, you got to go from, because we all use things as consumers initially, right? Everything.
Absolutely.
TV.
And ask yourself that question. Are you a consumer or are you a creator? And which one do you want to be? Because one of them really pays.
What do you think it's done? Well, let's start off with business, because you talked about business, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think it's done for your business?
Look, it's awareness. It's your ability to communicate to people what you do, your passions, get an insight from you as an individual, get an insight as what your company does as well. Because, your personal brand and your business brand, although they're intertwined. They are also different. And I think it's very important, especially as a business owner, that you do have both. Because
you do have both.
You always, that's right, but you
realise
showcase both,
Yeah.
let's say. Yeah. And this is us recording this episode. We're actually coming up to a training that I'm going to do a masterclass with with the people that are part of my program for builders. And we're going to do a brand masterclass. And it's going to be for 3 whole days where we're going to focus on brand. And a lot of that is going to have a heavy aspect of it about social media. And the one thing I find with a lot of people, not just the guys that I'm coaching and mentoring, a lot of people just use Facebook and Instagram. That's it. Nothing else. And really, if you're going to be into it a lot, they just use Instagram. Instagram.
Integram.
That's a new one. That's a new one.
Yeah.
We're going to start it.
Not on that yet.
Hashtag Instagram.
Hashtag Top George.
Yes, Top George. Keep forgetting. I've got to keep introducing myself as Top George.
People are gonna think you're still George Passes.
That's right. We can't have that.
Yeah.
I'm going to change my bio.
And your
Top
birth
George.
certificate. Just change both. Change everything.
Driver's license,
Yeah.
everything, passport.
Top
George.
George.
How good
First
was
name's Top, last name's George.
Jesus, how good would that be? Where were we? Yeah, so a lot of them just use the one platform, and I think that's a real risk. As not a risk, it's just missed opportunity. If you don't have omnipresence, trying to be everywhere all at once, because different platforms will do different things for you. I try and push LinkedIn a lot as well, and I get some great traction through that. Amazing traction, a lot of connections with people. People are always connecting with me, getting good engagement through that platform. And looking at all the social media, like even when Threads opened, I opened a Threads account. Twitter.
Do you just post the same thing on Threads that you do on Twitter?
Often, yeah.
I do, yeah.
It's copy paste.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find an app that can post to both.
It doesn't. Yeah, there's not one that's there yet.
Yeah, there's actually one that has Threads, but I don't know if I want to sign up to it.
And you got, as you've said a lot of times, make the game easy to win. You don't have to sit there on your phone and be like, okay, I need to post to this platform. I need to post to this platform, and spend 2 hours posting one piece of content to 7 different platforms.
Yeah,
there's sites out there. There's other programs where you can, software where you can upload your content and it'll post to everything all at once, and that saves you. And you can schedule it, so you don't even have to sit there and do it on the day. You could spend an hour a month or half a day a month and schedule your whole month of content. Spend 4 hours on the first of each month, schedule your whole month's content, and you don't have to touch it again.
Yeah.
But in saying that, this is another area where people make a mistake. I don't reckon they engage enough either with their audience. So they'll get likes, they'll get comments, and they don't actually engage with that person. Hey, great post, really love this. And they don't even like it, they don't engage. Engaging with your audience is also really important too. It shows that you aren't just a robot. It shows that, yeah, we care about your opinions. Or you might disagree with it, but at least it opens up that discussion as well.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, so okay, why don't people do it?
Effort.
Is that what it is?
It could be. Or insecurity. I reckon that's a massive one. Getting out of your own way, especially for personal brand. How many people get nervous when you do this? Yeah. Hey, tell me about yourself. What are we doing today? Oh fuck! Is my hair look good? Does
for context, for those of you listening, he's holding up a phone.
Holding up my phone.
Yeah,
holding up my phone, recording Robbie.
Yeah.
So, off topic. Is your birth certificate name Robert? Is that what you've been? Is that what your name was, Robert?
No.
It's not. It's actually Robbie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
With a Y.
Yeah, there you go. Not IE.
Yeah.
So it's not Robert.
It's not Robert.
Robert.
You can call me Robert if you want.
Probably will from now on.
Yeah. Don't call me Robert, please.
So back to where we're. Yeah, people's insecurities are massive on it, I reckon. And that's what I feel, that a lot of people don't create content for themselves because they think they sound stupid, their hair looks bad, they got a pimple, whatever it is, and they get in their own way to create content. That's a massive thing. And it's amazing how many people get nervous. I don't think I've ever been nervous in front of a camera.
Ever?
Even at the very beginning, yeah. I wasn't as good as in when the camera was rolling, and when the first time I started to create content, it was a little bit scripted or robotic, but that's fine. That's part of a journey. You don't start playing basketball on day one being a gun.
Shooting threes.
That's right. You got to practice. You got to put in the reps.
So why don't you? Why don't you get nervous? Or why did you never get nervous from the start? Like, what do you think that was?
I think confidence has a little bit to do with it. And I love this quote about confidence. Confidence isn't the lack of fear. It's being able to, it's being willing to try even though you doubt yourself. That's what confidence is. And I really like that. Being willing to try even though you might doubt yourself. So that's confidence. Okay, I might fail, but I'm still going to give this a go.
Yeah.
That's confidence ultimately. And I've always had that from a young age, and that was probably just a value. We spoke about values the other day. A value that's probably been instilled into me from day one. But perhaps if I, had a different route and I got put down and things like that, and I wasn't a confident type person, I was a shy person, that could also really play a huge effect on it. People get like sweats when the camera turns on. Do you know what I mean? I've seen it. I've seen people like start sweating because the camera's on.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Because people are watching them. It's ultimately people. You're afraid of other people's judgment of what they think about you. That's what.
So you could, yeah. You know what? Though I can relate.
Yeah.
In the sense of like I get way less, but like initially I would get a little bit more. It's like going on stage, dude.
Yeah.
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 The first time you go on stage, initially, even till now, like the first 10 seconds, there's still that little bit of. Oh, like
our last event though, I didn't get that.
I didn't get that either.
Not even for a second.
No, I was walked up. Yeah.
So that's interesting. But, and this is my other thing, what if it was 1,000 people?
Freak.
Yeah. I'm saying you now, like if you and me had an event, 1,000 people, 5,000 people, do you reckon you'd be a bit nervous? Yeah, me too.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I think so too. But I reckon as soon as I get on there and then crack the first joke or whatever it might be, and it's like, oh, how good. And then I know for a fact we'd get off and just be like, that was the best thing we've ever done.
That was sick.
That was sick.
Yeah, I think the feeling of having 5,000 people roaring for you, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it comes down to that same concept of what we're talking with social media. You're getting on stage. Why are you nervous? Because they judge you.
Yeah.
I'll go, I can't believe he's wearing black and purple. Do you know what I mean? It's whatever. These are thoughts that you're putting in your own head that other people might think about you. Oh, your fly's down. So but again,
you just gave everyone another fear. No one was thinking that, right. And now they're like, "Holy shit!
Is my fly down?
Is my fly down? I better check it every time before I record because Top George
doesn't have his fly down, or maybe he does.
He reminded us.
Just wants to remind people about why he's Top George.
Why?
So
this is why.
But I mean, I would spin that around and go, make a joke of it. And I'm good on my feet like that. I think I'm quirky enough to handle a situation like that. Yeah, witty enough.
I think
but again, that comes with practice, training. The more you're on stage, the better you'll be at doing stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's a combination of things, right? Like some people will be more naturally gifted at it, I guess, but it's about getting better at it as well. The more you do it, dude, I actually talk about this in one of the programs, and I tell people people think they're gonna die if they post a video until you post it, and then you realize, oh, I didn't die.
And then you get some words of encouragement too.
Yeah, or you get some hate.
Yeah, that happens too, man.
Yeah, that's another thing. So someone gets inspired by listening to this, and they're like, you know what? These guys are right, and I'm going to post a video. And then they do, and then someone on TikTok comes up to them, like they do. TikTok's very I guess renowned for this. Like it happens more on TikTok probably than most other platforms.
I agree. I know what you're about to say.
And people will come and shoot you down.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, and they'll come and they'll claim that you're this or that, and they don't know anything about you. How do you handle that?
I had this one guy, I put a video up, I can't remember what it was. There was a few controversial topics that I put up, and I think it was the one about, I was telling apprentices to stop bitching and moaning about the money that they're making.
Yeah.
And it was along those lines. Stop complaining to your employer that you're not making enough money because they don't care. Like you're being paid to learn. Not many professions in the world get paid to learn. I went to uni, I didn't get paid to go to uni. I walked out of there with a HECS debt. And as an apprentice, you get paid to learn. And the idea is that you are earning a wage and you are making some money and you're getting taught how to master your trade. Now, the people that can get over that mindset and go, yeah, this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to learn, and I'm going to get paid peanuts for a while. But at the end of it, if I become an amazing apprentice electrician plumber, I'm going to be able to charge $200 an hour.
So I'm just going to touch on that quickly because I did an apprenticeship. Yeah. And I did not think like that at all.
Yeah. As in what I'm just saying about the pay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I was getting ripped.
Yeah.
I felt like I was being rorted. I felt like I was like, this is like slave labor. I was getting
sometimes
$7.40.
Yeah.
I'm not that old.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
$7.40 an hour.
Yeah.
10 years ago. That's more. 14 years ago.
But sometimes you need someone just to even put that into perspective for you and maybe tell you that. Say, listen, you're getting paid to learn. They don't think like that. They think, fuck, this guy over here is getting $100 an hour and I'm getting $7.40 to do what I'm doing.
Yeah. I felt like I was, dude, my cousin was working at Macca's. I was 18, he was 16. He was earning more than me, working part-time, earning more than me.
Yep.
And I was like, this is insane. Working a full-time job, making $280 a week. If I couldn't help, I wonder how I would have taken it.
How what?
I probably would have shot you down.
Yeah, yeah, perhaps. But then you hear all that, oh, you can't do this, cost of living, and then there was all these people just trying to, but there was a lot of people on there saying, well said, fantastic. You can tell which one the business owners are.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, they're just taking advantage of you. Hang on. I didn't say that. I didn't say about trying to take advantage of you. Saying stop bitching and moaning. Now, you as an apprentice, they're like, oh, it's slave labor. We just get abused. We get this. We just have to sweep the sheds. All right. That's all I do is all day, every day. I just sweep the floor. I just pick up rubbish and I get abused. Well, have some accountability about what you're doing in your life. If your boss is taking advantage of you and you are not learning in that role, you have a responsibility to go, I'm fucking out of here. I'm out of here. I'm not learning anything. I'm just sweeping sheds all day. I need to learn. It's not just me coming here for cheap labor. It's me coming here to learn my trade so I can come out the end of a 4-year apprenticeship with a qualification that I'm really good at and I enjoy doing. So there is a level of responsibility with that. And the people that were jumping on saying, oh, it's slave labor, it's this, it's just employers taking advantage of the situation. Well, no, because they pay for your trade school. They pay for your mistakes, which you will make. One of my dad, years ago, he had a Nissan Patrol and he got it serviced. And I think they always get their apprentices to work on just basic services and all that sort of stuff. In dealerships? Yeah. 100%. Yeah, exactly. Do you know what they did? They forgot to put the oil cap back on the car. I've done that heaps. Yeah. There you go. You know what that cost Nissan? My dad drove it started fucking pissing out. Smoke and everything because he drove it a fair while. My dad's very blunt as well. Like he opened up the bonnet, looked at it, saw what was the issue, closed it, drove back, right? Smoke piercing out everywhere, drove it straight into the dealership, said, here you go. He goes, I'll take that one. All right, this is your car now. All right, I'm going to take that. Oh, no, we'll clean it. We'll do this. No. I want a new car. And he got a new car. Are you serious? Yep. He was that convincing. He got a new car. Yeah. He goes, sort it out. I don't want to know. This thing's fucked now. All right, you fucked it. I want that one. Right, this was a brand new car, mind you. Like it went in for the 1,000K service or whatever it is. Yeah, but dude, that's like, oh, okay. You know what? The fact that it's a new car probably makes it more easier for them to swap it over. That's right. Yeah. So, and that's where nothing like unless he lost a ridiculous amount of oil, nothing. There is no damage done. I think it's just the perception and everything. Yeah. Whatever. He's like, but like the fact that they folded, which Nissan probably a brand thing too. That's worse on their brand. That's what I mean. Oh, what, to give a new car away? To give them a brand new car? Yeah, I feel like they perhaps. But they took responsibility. Folded. So do you think, so was your, okay. Anyway. So many questions. No, we'll talk about that later. So, but the fact of the matter is that cost the company money. Yeah. All right, which the apprentice then did. So when my apprentice or a apprentice makes a mistake, the employer has to pay for that. And that's part of the role. Like I don't get angry at an apprentice if they ever make mistakes. That's part of what the journey is about. I know you're going to make mistakes along the way. I would keep him accountable if that same mistake kept happening, if he kept making the same mistake, because then he's just not concentrating. Then he's not learning and he's not taking on board the advice. So long story short, back to where we were, to go full circle. I put a video up along those lines, explain the whole process. But at the end of the video as well, I was saying, if you can just be dedicated for the next 2, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, you'll come out of that apprenticeship and be able to make so much money, it's not funny. Because what's the industry for us at the moment, there's a shortage of real skilled labor and really good guys. And that is probably because a lot of the older guys, that older generation, say my dad's generation and a bit younger than that, are retiring. They're out of the trade. They don't want to be a tiler anymore. They don't want to be a carpenter anymore. They're old, they're tired, they're done, they're finished. But they were some of the best and most skilled tradesmen out there. And what's replacing them? So there's 50 carpenters or whatever retiring, and there's 5 replacing them. So it's going to be supply and demand. These carpenters are going to, and it's already happening now. We used to pay a carpenter $45 an hour. Now you're getting them for $70, $80 an hour. And then and I've seen people charge as much as $105 an hour. And if you're doing a private job, you're going to charge whatever you want. Like if you're working for a mum and dad, they'll probably charge them whatever it is, $200 an hour. So you can make some really, really good money and almost make up for those initial years anyway. But you've got to have some grit and you've got to go through that process as well. And I got a lot of hate from a lot of people, just bagging me, like saying, what do you know? You're a pencil pusher. You sit behind the desk. You don't know any of this. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's good to, you know nothing about me. Nothing. You don't know what work I've done before, what carpentry or labouring or anything. You're assuming because I'm educated, because I speak well, because I was sitting in a cafe when I did this video, that I'm a pencil pusher and I'm telling people to stop bitching and moaning about the money they're making. I'm not arguing a minimum wage, as in a general labour or someone working at a cafe. I'm saying for that specific item. Now, you've got to really detach yourself from what people are saying.
How do you do that?
Understand that it's probably more issues on their end than yours. You know what I mean? They're probably more broken. If they have time to sit on a video of yours and watch the whole thing and then leave a negative comment, you should almost feel sorry for them. Like what else is eating you up in life, mate? Where else is this showing up in your life? Why are you so broken that you have to come onto my page and leave negativity, leave bad words? What's wrong with you? So I look at it from that perspective, having a bit of empathy for them. But in the same token, I don't hold back either. Like I'll respond. I responded to, I had this one video, my first video that, I can't remember. That's right, that's the video. So I was talking about why all the builders are going broke. And all the keyboard warriors came out. That's when it really hit. Saying dodgy builders. I've seen that. Yeah, saying dodgy builders. They just close their business and open up in something else. They don't care. They rip off people. And like I responded to, I reckon there was probably 400 comments on there. I reckon I responded to almost every single one of them. Good and bad. But it was also creating that conversation and that debate. And I was like, no, you're wrong, this, and this. No, you're wrong, this, and this. And some people would respond back, others wouldn't, but it's just conversations at the end of the day.
So that sounds great in theory, like in this, and you're right, I agree, in the sense of if you approach it with empathy and it is about them, it's got nothing to do with you. They don't know you. They don't know enough about you. They probably know 1% barely, even if that, from your social profile. Yeah. But it still hurts sometimes.
Yeah. I'll give you another example. It comes down to self-esteem as well and having a really clear understanding about you. It's like, man, hey, I don't like your blue hair. We've said this before. I don't like your blue hair. You're like, George, I don't have blue hair, but I don't like your blue hair. It's ugly. That is the worst blue hair I've ever seen. And I say this to my kids. I'm like, I don't like your blue hair. And I'm like, but I don't have blue hair. So then you're ugly. You have big nose. I don't like the colour of your skin. But I don't have blue hair. So you know that not to be true. You know that there's nothing wrong with the colour of your skin. You know that there's nothing wrong with your nose, with your hair, with what you're saying. So if you truly understand and believe that, what anyone else says is completely irrelevant.
Yeah, see, I think the thing is people don't... Because I actually thought about this last time you mentioned it. And when you first told me that, I was like, wow, that's a really cool concept to teach kids especially, man. Like,
without a doubt, because kids are going to now get into that stage where they're going to get phones and you as a parent will want to try and protect your kid as far as practicable. But one day it's going to get to the point where you can't shield them from everything and everyone. So you need to build that self-esteem and confidence in them to make sure they understand that what other people are going to say about you isn't real. It's not true. It's their projections. It's nothing to do with you. And as much as it can hurt or it might make you insecure, you need to really bring yourself back and understand that this is them, it's not you.
Do you think, this is a good segue, do you think social media has impacted us as a society?
Oh, without a doubt.
How?
From a mental health perspective, and also the way we act and interact, without a doubt. Communication. A lot of people communicate through social media more than they will anything else.
So it's changed the way we communicate, but what impact do you think it's had?
As in a positive or negative one?
Yeah.
I think overall it's been positive.
Yeah?
Yeah, I believe so. You're able to, there's nothing wrong with communication. It's good. That's what we should be doing. We should be communicating as much. We're social creatures. Humans won't survive in isolation. We're not built for that.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I heard the sickest thing once. I think it was on Joe Rogan. And they're like, think about how much humans depend on socialization. Like we are herd animals. We are so, I can't remember, there's a scientific term for it. I can't remember what it is, but we are so dependent on other people and our relationships with other people that when you can go to prison, you can be in prison and you're surrounded by the worst of the worst. You can be surrounded by like
everything,
yeah. Murderers, like the worst people in the world, right? And they're all put into one place. And the worst thing they can do to you in there is take you away from everyone and put you on your own. Like that's the punishment.
Yeah.
We're going to put you in a room by yourself for a certain amount of time. And that's the punishment. That's how much humans are dependent on connecting with other people.
Yeah, good example.
Isn't that bizarre? Like you think, you almost think you'd want to be on your own rather than be around.
There'd be a very small percentage of people that are happy and able to live on their own. But even then, like they might have a companionship of a dog. But there's still I think there'd be very few people that could do it on their own. And actually function as a good human being. Do you know what I mean?
Not be a weirdo.
Yeah, they'd probably be. Yeah, you're probably right. They probably would be weird or lacking some other element of what it means to be a person. But what a lonely life, man. It's a sad life, I reckon. If you're by yourself all the time, every day, every single time, like something's gone wrong.
Isolated all the time.
Something's gone wrong along the way that has hurt you bad enough to want to have no human connection whatsoever.
Yeah,
as peaceful as it might sound to some people, sometimes.
There's someone listening to this right now.
Yeah, going, oh man, I don't want to speak to anyone. Yeah, take me there now. But in the long run, it'll be detrimental to your mental health for sure. For sure.
So you think social... Okay, so why do you think then... Why do you think... Because we've actually touched on this previously in an episode, but we haven't gone into it. And one of our guests that we had on mentioned that... Cam.
Oh, yeah.
I actually can't remember if we did this live or if it was after. Yeah. But he mentioned how kids... The issue now is kids get... You talked about kids and how they're going to get on it. And he mentioned how the issue now is that back in the days, you would go to school. If you got bullied, you would get bullied until 3 o'clock or 3:15 or whatever time your school finished, and you go home and it was done. Whereas now, that's not the case anymore. Now you can get bullied at school about whatever it is, and then you can go home and then you can continue to get bullied online. What impact do you think that's had on, and I get it's going to be a negative side, but what impact do you think that's had on society? And do you think, is it social media that's caused that? Is it something else? Like, what is it?
I reckon humans are probably still fine. Like, it's ultimately the person that's doing the action.
The bully?
Yeah. Like, the social media is the tool.
Yeah.
Their
so
voice
having a new landscape, that's what it is. Like, it's having that.
They've got that other platform now to keep it going.
Connectedness.
Yeah. Yeah. And a child that perhaps puts up a video of them doing something they enjoy, painting. Okay? When I say child, say a teenager. Let's go teenagers, because that's generally when you're going to get a lot of that bullying, say. Right? So say teenagers, they put up a photo of them painting on their own social platform, and then all these people then start hammering them. Oh my God, that is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay, look at how fat your arms are. A whole range of things that they could be saying, and this was just an innocent photo of her posting something that she enjoyed doing. And as a result, they might, or him, take that photo down, or cry themselves to sleep, or their messages get bombarded. And this is where, again, I'm saying you've got to really, and if you've been bullied your whole life, it's going to be really hard. But building that self-esteem into the kid from a young age, and that confidence into them, so that they understand that, look, that's other people's projections, it's what they think. Like, man, have you ever been bullied?
Me?
Yeah. Not really?
No,
that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
I'd say most people would have been. I think I have been. But I look back at it and think how insignificant it was, in the sense of, like how much does it affect my life now? I don't even think about it.
What's
ever.
an example of bullying? Like
being teased, I suppose. Being teased, maybe continuously from the same people.
No, the only time like I've ever had anything like that was in social groups where it wasn't like it was the person mucking around. Or maybe that's just how I'm looking at it. But it wasn't, I never felt like, and this is my, I guess, definition of bullying, but it would be someone that I don't like or don't get along with, or constantly giving me a hard time about something. And I would feel like that is bullying.
Yeah, absolutely it would be.
But if I felt like there was a ongoing joke between my mates about something I did, I can just laugh that off.
Yeah, and
like
it's a bit of banter, because at the end of the day, your mates might do that.
Yeah.
Your mates might do that too.
I'll do it back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And your mates will probably do that all the time for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but I'm cool with that. Like, that's fine. Like, that's
But some people might not be. Some people that could affect as well.
Yeah, but is that bullying?
Oh, I suppose they say if the other person isn't laughing and it's just you laughing, then yeah, it could be.
I don't mind someone having a laugh at my own expense.
Yeah, that's okay.
Like,
but
if
it was continuously.
If I fall and you don't laugh, I'll be upset at you. I can't. When someone falls, dude, I cannot not laugh. Like, I'm the sort of person where like, and
it's like a 90-year-old lady walking.
Not a 90-year-old, but once I was at work, dude, and like a 60-something-year-old lady fell.
Yeah,
she didn't hurt herself. Yeah. Like, I made sure she was okay, but then once she was okay, man, I could not stop. I had to leave the room.
Like crying.
Yeah, I was like laughing because she rolled over and shit. It was full of.
Look at how happy you are now. Just thinking back to that moment.
It was a highlight of my year. No, it wasn't. But it was. It's funny. It's funny when people fall. It's funny. I like it's. There's a level of humor with clumsiness. Like,
yeah.
And I think if you can't have people laugh at your own expense, that comes back down to what you were saying. Like, you're insecure.
Yeah, so and having that ability to shake that off. Now, again, if it's constant, and especially during the high school years, it's like that's your whole world. Do you know what I mean? You don't have not many people have a lot of friends outside of high school environment. That's what you do day in, day out. And it's not until you get out into the real world that you realize the world is bigger than just this campus.
How much things did you worry about back in the day that are not even relevant?
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
Like, not even relevant to a point where it was everything at one point.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
yeah,
don't even know if that person's alive. Yeah, no idea.
No idea.
Can't even remember their name properly.
No idea. Things that that you thought were important or that were influential to you back then.
This is it, man. I'm done. This is it. Rest of my life.
Yeah. But that's what it is back then. That's how you think. And I think everyone does that. They think that this is my world, this is what it is. I thought genuinely when I was in high school that I'd be mates with my mates for the rest of my life. I thought we would all be the best of friends for such a long time. And I still speak to a few of them, and that's, nearly 20 years, 22 years nearly. But it's not a connection where I catch up with them on a weekend and all that sort of stuff.
What year did you finish high school?
2002.
2002, you finished high school?
Yeah. Yes, 2002.
2002? Mm-hmm. I was in primary school.
Really?
You finished high school when I was in primary school.
You were in, so what year? What grade? Like grade 5 or
Grade
6?
five,
no?
yeah, grade 6, grade 5, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Finished.
think, you know what? I started high school in 2003.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Yep. I was done and dusted. So I would have been married by the time you finished high school, maybe.
Potentially.
Maybe. So, yeah, coming back, how's that influenced? I think it's had both positive and negative effects, social media. Even from the perspective of how people act, very self-indulged and really into themselves as a result, like wanting to take a perfect photo, their ass looking amazing, their lips full of whatever.
Okay. Do you think that's social media?
It's definitely highlighted that because there'd be a certain thing of what beauty is and then people trying to emulate that.
But that's always happened. It's always been on magazines, everything.
Absolutely. But now it's so, as you said, it's the consistency of all this stuff there.
Yeah.
Magazines, I don't have to buy a magazine. And it's like, when am
Yeah,
I having
but
it?
so
You might read a magazine at the
here's-
doctor. Like you'll see these things.
Yeah, but you see it anyway. Okay. How many magazines have you bought in your life?
Like 4.
4. Did you, when you were younger, did you used to buy like Hot Fours and stuff?
Yeah, I used to buy a few things.
Straight
I remember
Commodores?
buying
Straight
Straight
Commodores? You look like a
Commodores.
Straight Commodores.
Don't think I ever did a Straight Commodore.
Come on, man. You like VTs.
I know, it's my favourite.
Yeah, you didn't like Straight Commodores?
I don't think I did.
Do you really like VTs?
I remember buying video game magazines.
Video game magazines?
I remember that, like buying a Nintendo magazine or something.
What was that video? There was one popular one.
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't know. But look, put that aside. So magazines weren't ridiculous.
It was always there. Like you always had that
That's
perception.
what I'm
but I'm just
saying.
saying
You saw it
not as
anyway.
Yeah, but not as much. Nowhere near as much. Think about
100%, 100%.
So that's all it is. It's the sheer volume of stuff that you're seeing now, and people would influence. Like even from a perspective of, say, we always go back to teenagers. Not that it's that relevant, but they would be seeing pictures of pretty girls all the time, or guys that are going, "Oh, look at all these guys that are buffed."
What do you
and
think?
all that
What do you
sort of
think that does?
it would, at that age, it would probably influence them to act in a certain way and think, I now need to, before I can post a photo with my top off, I need to be completely ripped. I can't have any body fat. I need to be at 10% body fat. I need to do this.
Is that a bad thing?
No, not necessarily, but it depends. It can be if that's how you need to justify your existence. Do you know what I mean? I'm just giving the health as one example.
Yeah.
Just giving it as one example. It could even be the pressures of maybe trying to be funny. You know, putting something up there that you think's hilarious, and then you put it up there, and then everyone's like, "This is the lamest, cringiest thing I've ever seen in my life." So that could be a pressure there. Anything. It can come down to so many things that you could put it on. You might love your car, and then you post a photo of it, and like, "That's the biggest shitbox Datsun I've ever seen in my life."
Box Datsun. I think, yes, I agree. Like there is that side, but there's also the side of like how just as for everything to be as easily accessible as it is today, everything has to be exposed. Everything has to be interconnected the way it is. Yeah. So for us to be able to order something on Amazon now and get it tomorrow, or for us to be able to find out the answer to a question in the next 10 seconds because we can quickly Google it, to be able to have that's a really, I think I see that as a positive. I see it as unbelievably, what a time to be alive.
Absolutely.
Right? That's the positive. But I think to have that society, you're going to get exposed in some other ways. You know, and Gary Vee said it, and it's one of my favorite things. He says like, and this, I agree with this with social media. I agree with COVID. I agree with everything that people demonize, because we always demonize the future, or demonize anything that is change. And I think these things just actually expose us. I don't think COVID exposed us.
Yeah, 100%.
That's all it did. It exposed holes in your business. It exposed holes in your life. It exposed how much germs were being transferred as humans.
So true.
Do you know what I mean?
So true. That is the most profound statement you've said, I reckon, on this podcast. Like, it's so true.
Dude, it just exposed us. That's all it did.
Like, and people were walking. And these are things, though, that you may not necessarily think are bad things in your life pre-COVID.
Yeah, because you thought it was normal.
It's normal.
You did not even put a thought to a particular thing.
Yeah, and I'm really grateful. As hard as it was, I'm actually really grateful for COVID because it's made me a better father. I'm not saying I was a bad one. It's just like, hey, you're not spending as much time as you could be with your kids.
Go from go from a 6 to an 8.
That's it.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, those little improvements, dude.
It's all right. And it's like, husband, okay, cool. I wasn't communicating as well. I'd come home, eat, go to bed. Come home, eat, go to bed, or whatever it might be. And then in business, you're like, oh, I never thought that was never an issue in my business before because we always had the money to cover it. But when it gets exposed like that, money just pours out.
Yeah.
So you can plug that hole. You can make that change in that thing. So yeah, without a doubt.
It exposed us, dude. Same thing with social media. Is there anything you still do now that you didn't do post-COVID? Like, I'll give you an example. I still, till this day, when I go to like Coles or Woolies, I still wipe the trolleys down.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're a bit of a germaphobe?
I would say I'm clean. I wouldn't say I'm a germaphobe.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't wipe down this chair before I sat on it. But
Some hand sanitizer when you walked in?
Yeah, 100% sprayed my face. No, but that is something where I was like, oh my God, like, we don't even think about that. And then you'll go and you'll lean on this thing and then you'll probably touch your face. And then, you know what I mean? And there's all these sorts of things that you don't consciously think of, but COVID opened our eyes up to it.
Yep.
Yeah, until this day. Like, I'll go pick up, like, if I go to Coles, I usually go to Coles. If I go to Coles, I'll get a trolley and the first thing I'll do is wipe the handles down. Grab a wipe the handles down, throw the wipe out and carry on. I don't see many people do it though.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't actually use a trolley. So
You don't?
Yeah, but very rarely. But yeah, I don't still really think about it that much anyway.
No, but I'm saying, is there anything that
I do
that since
as a
COVID
result?
you've started doing or you did during COVID? Like, there's people that still wear masks that didn't wear masks before.
Yeah.
Bit extreme, if you ask me, but each to their own.
I mean,
I've seen those videos of people wearing masks in the car by themselves.
Yeah. Stupid. No, they're safe. They're being safe.
Yeah, cautious. Well done.
I don't know. Yeah, potentially it might come into mind. Say even, an escalator.
I don't grab the sides of escalators anymore, yeah.
So something like that potentially. Or you're in a tram.
No, I'll touch everything on the tram.
So what's the difference?
I just like holding on stuff.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're doing one but not the other. The tram's probably worse than the
Potentially,
trolley.
yeah, potentially.
So yeah, it's definitely influenced things for sure. I know another thing like pressing the button. How many people?
I don't, dude.
How many people when you're crossing a road will use their foot to press the button now because they don't want to touch it?
Yeah.
Every single time I see someone using their fucking foot to press the button.
This day,
do you want to do it? Just fucking press the button.
Till this day,
I
don't press lift buttons with the tip of my finger.
That's it. Or you use a knuckle.
I either use a knuckle or my phone.
Or a key.
Yeah. If I'm holding something, I'll usually use that thing if it's a solid object. Till this day. It's become unconscious for me now.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I wouldn't have thought about that until you brought that up.
Yep. So, it changes behaviours when things like that happen. Social media has changed people's behaviours without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'll give you a really good example. Just trying to think. Yeah, they don't listen to this podcast anyway, so it's all good. We had a Christmas do the other day at our house.
Christmas what?
A Christmas, like get together for for Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And anyway, my wife took a photo of her brother, or they took a photo of her brother and her sister. And my wife posted it on social media. Like, it was a nice photo. It was actually a really beautiful photo. And they don't have, it's not like they have 10,000 photos together or anything like that, but it was a holiday. They just took a photo together. And she just posted it on her page. And it's not like she's got a public profile or anything. It's private profile, so not that many people see it. Anyway, her sister cracked it. Like, take that down. I look disgusting. And we're like, what? No, you don't. Like, you look good. But in her mind, she was like, I hate my hair. my face, my clothes, my whatever was bothering her. I don't even know what it was, but she cracked it. And then Nicole ended up taking the photo down. And then the brother chimes in too, and they're like, anyway, and it became this really like storm in a teacup, massive thing about such a thing that I didn't think was an issue at all.
Something so insignificant.
Something so, but innocent as well. It was innocent.
Yeah,
she posted it on her page as a nice thing. Oh, look here, I want to post a photo of me, my brother, and my sister because we don't have that many photos on there of the three of us. And it was such an innocent and nice thing, yet one party lost their mind over it. Do you know what I mean? And then it said, storm the teacup, then everyone's arguing over this thing and like, well, I was like, shut the fuck up. It's not, what's the big deal? It was just a photo. It's like, yeah, what do you know? This person will see it and this person will see it and they'll judge it's like, oh man, so beyond the realms of something that I would even think about. Do you know what I mean? I would never think about that. I would just post it and be like, no, that's cool. And if they told me to take it down, I'd say, too bad.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Untag yourself.
People will be like, do you mind if I post this photo? I'm like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I looked at that time.
Yeah.
It's my fault for looking like that.
So that in itself has changed how people react on.
So here's my thing with that. Like you, that day, whatever day it was, you chose to, unless someone comes in and takes a photo of you in your bedroom while you're asleep.
Yeah.
Like you chose to walk out into public that day looking that way.
Yeah.
How can you do that comfortably and not allow, unless maybe insecurities are so deep that
could be that
walking out into public alone like was a tough enough thing.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe there's people out there that wouldn't walk out without makeup on,
I don't.
to go to the shops.
Yeah, I don't.
I'd be offended if you walked in here without makeup. So there'd be people like that. But and then you can take it the other way. It's like, no, well, you want to have self-respect. You want to look good always. You shouldn't look like a bum. Like why? There's so many different perspectives on it. But you know what? You do you. Again, do what makes you happy.
Yeah, that's
But I've just seen people along the journey as well. People that utilize social media for good, they can do some good too, man.
100%.
I can influence someone in America that I have no connection with, that follows me, engages with me, loves my story, loves what I'm about, and influence them in a positive way. Maybe it's a quote. Yesterday I put up a quote, and I can't remember what it was, but something along the lines. Oh, that's right. It was along the lines of, the hard times you're going through right now won't really matter in a couple of years. Keep going. You'll look back at it and be like, it's not going to mean anything. And someone messaged me last night, and he goes, I really needed to see this right now. Guy I haven't spoken to in a year. Just a person. And he goes, I really needed to hear this right now. Now imagine that maybe that guy was standing on the Westgate and then he saw that photo.
Let me check my socials. Let me check my socials.
But do you know what I mean? He could have been on the edge of a building and he was just I better go on social media one more time just before I take the plunge. And saw that and he goes, you know what? I'm going to give it another year. And gets down.
Yeah, isn't that's
But that's the positive impact you could have. And I responded back to him and I just said, I gave him a word, like a couple of messages back and forth of encouragement. I said this and this. I was like, mate, keep going. It's hard, but you'll be worth it. And whatever it was. So you can have a profound effect on people and you don't even know it. A real positive one. And there's people that I follow that I get inspired by just listening to. There's this guy, I can't remember his full name, it's Jordan. And he takes an ice bath every single morning. Every single morning he goes, hey, g'day, hi guys, this is day 483 of taking an ice bath every single day until I don't. And he's done it every single day. And then he'll sit in the ice bath and he'll give an inspirational quote. And then at the end of 365 days, funny enough, he turns around and he goes, all these quotes I've actually been saying, they're a projection of my own life and my own feelings about what I'm thinking. So he goes, on a certain day, he goes, don't give up.
Yeah.
He goes, like, don't give up today. He goes, today's going to be a hard day, but tomorrow will be better. So on and so forth, give that inspirational quote. And then at the last time, he goes, I'm going to let you all in on a secret. This isn't an inspirational quote. This is my life. This is all the insecurities. These are all the things that I say to myself to get me out of bed, to get me to do the ice bath, to get me to live the life I want to live.
Was it him or was it, I can't remember who this might have been him.
I reckon he's the first one that started it.
What?
The ice bath every single day.
No. Someone did this thing and it might have been him. I can't remember, but someone did this thing where they're like, everything you see me post on social media, I post it because I need to hear it.
Yeah.
Not because I want you to hear it. Like,
Yeah,
that's
what
the
a
truth.
great post.
Yeah, I post this because I need to hear it. Like, I need to say this. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, and that's living your
My tweets.
insecurity, isn't it?
Yeah, you're
It's
like, that's
guys,
fucking cool,
I'm
man.
being vulnerable. Like,
Yeah.
I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it for you. And I think if you can get into that headspace where you do it for yourself, you're not doing it for the gram, you're not doing it for the likes, for the follows, for the comments. You're just doing it because that gives you some fulfillment in your life.
Yeah.
And that's how I do try and see social media. I try and do it for me. And yeah, is it great to get a video that has 200,000 views? Absolutely. It just means I've been able to affect more people. Would I be lying in saying that doesn't make me feel good? Probably I would be. Like, it's good to have that there and go, oh, cool. I'm actually creating some change. I'm actually getting some traction with what it's all about. But I get more pumped from the perspective of how it can benefit me in business. And probably, I'd say Gary Vaynerchuk's definitely been a massive influence. Gary Vaynerchuk for me was the first person to inspire me to actually create content after reading his book, Crushing It. And I was like, cool, I've got to go out there and start doing more. Then, funny enough, the next person, because I started to research and do some stuff online, the next person I came across which influenced that was Kerwin Ray, because he was posting a lot of stuff and I went to one of his live events or anything like that. Yeah, really odd that it was him that was the next person. And then furthermore to that was then like Grant Cardone, who he introduced me to that whole concept of omnipresence, be everywhere all the time at every time and across every single platform. Don't post, at the ideal time of 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. Post 43 times a day, send 4,000 emails, and like he's just bombarding people. And one great thing he said, one of his mates, it was actually Brad Lee, that came up to Grant and goes, "Oh man," he goes, "you're posting too much." He goes, "I've had to unfollow you." No, he goes, "You're posting too much." He goes, "I'm thinking about unfollowing you." He goes, "I just see you all the time, every time." And he goes, "Unfollow me. You're not buying my shit anyway."
Yeah.
and he goes, that hit me when he said that. He goes, "Fuck, he's so true." Because I'm not buying his stuff anyway, and I'm not his target audience. And anyway, he didn't unfollow him, but it inspired him to create more content. And now Brad Lee creates a lot of content as well. And that inspired me too, because then I went and saw him in 2019 at the 10X Growth Conference and saw what he was doing with, really his conference that he had done there was because he committed to building a massive brand. And the more hands you shake, the more money you make, even if that's a digital handshake, one that you never physically touch. But having that connection with people to go, all right, cool, I can affect this, I can affect that. Very, very powerful thing. But you can affect in a negative way too. Maybe there's someone out there that's, doing a social media post on white power. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know if you're allowed racist comments on socials. I'm sure there'd be platforms that would cut that down for hate speech and whatnot.
Yeah.
But freedom of speech, there's people out there that would probably use it for really bad purposes as well.
Do you get happy when you get, like, when a clip that's coming through, by the way?
Sorry about that.
Do you get happy when a video goes viral? Like, it's like...
Yeah, I think I would. So I can't say I wouldn't.
So do you get down...
No. See, I couldn't care less.
So how do you do
look
that?
I look at it from...
I do...
I'll tell you what I do.
Yeah,
I look at it from a strategic point of view. What did I do in that video that went really well? What did I do in that one that didn't work so well?
Yeah.
And then try and work to the algorithm, to the platform, to create content that suits that. Because I know the more... I've got a great message in what I'm putting out there in the world on my personal brand and business brands. And it's like, well, if I can do more content that engages with people more, then I'll do more of that because it will help me build my brand and my business. That's what I'm saying. I don't love social media, but I love what it does for my businesses. So on that purpose, it's like, if you invest in stocks and you invest in a stock that goes up by a few cents and then you invest in another stock that goes up by $53, like, where are you going to put your money? That's effectively kind of what social media is like too. Where are you going to put your attention? Because that's your currency on social media. Where are you going to put your attention to get the best return on investment? And the beauty about social media, and people bitch and moan, I don't get much engagement these days. It's free. You don't pay anything to be on any of these platforms if you don't want to. My nephew, who's 20 years old, when I got the blue tick on Instagram, You're like, oh, that's so cringe. You paid for a blue tick. It's lost all meaning. It's this. And yet, maybe to a degree, it has lost its meaning because it's a blue tick now that you pay for to be meta verified. And I said to him, I said, listen, I would always pay for a blue tick. There is no question about me paying for a blue tick. I'll tell you why. Even, forget that you're a blue tick person now. They say that you do get more engagement as a result of having that. So if the platform then rewards me for having a blue tick, then I'm going to pay for it because I can reach more people.
Do you think it's true?
Well, I haven't noticed it. Like, I'm being serious. I haven't noticed that tick get me more engagement. It'd be interesting to see if I stopped paying it, if my engagement goes down from where it is now. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm going front in mind. Maybe I'm going front and center to more people as a result of that. But again, all this stuff is free. All these platforms are free. If you want to get more engagement, you can pay for it too. Like, have a paid strategy. We were talking about this the other day. And you're currently looking at ways to take advantage of your posts and reach more people by investing a small amount of money, but strategically doing it in ways that will put your video in front of more people.
Yeah.
And then how good does that look for your brand? How much does it build your brand? You'll get more people involved and engaged. And this is the other thing now. It's like, oh, I don't care about people in America. Why not?
Yeah, so my thing with that is this. Why, like, you know how people want to grow organically? Why?
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing with that. Like,
Yeah.
I question a lot of what I do. And then my question to that was like, why will I only limit who they will allow me to reach? Is it because I don't want to invest? That's not the case. I invest in myself all the time. Okay, why won't I pay for this reach? Like, why won't I use paid reach to reach more people? It almost seems
And
like
we're not just talking the
no-brainer.
boost button, by the way, guys.
No. But the whole strategy behind it,
Yeah.
you know, and a sequence of videos and targeting different markets to see what you can get. And depending on what you want. Do you want to reach more people? Do you want more people to view the content? Do you want to get more engagement? Do you want to get more followers? And you can do different things like that. But it's like, why would I just do the organic? Like, if they changed it to a paid platform, I'd have to pay.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah. So if they change it to a paid platform, why am I letting them dictate everything?
Would you reckon,
Like,
do you think a lot of people would drop off
what?
if it was a paid platform? I think so. I think that everyday people, as in
I
that
think they
aren't
would drop-
that aren't business owners, for example,
Yeah.
I think 100% they would drop off. A lot of people. You
Yeah,
tell me
so
kids are
do-
going to pay $20 a month to have Instagram?
Nah, but they're not stupid.
Yeah.
They do this. You pay and you don't have ads.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Or you have reduced ads.
Yeah. Or
And then people who don't pay have ads.
yeah, or you pay and you get more. You don't get as much engagement as someone who does pay on your post. They'll make it, and that's what the kind of
See,
they're
you're
doing now.
thinking from a creator perspective.
Yeah,
The platform is driven by consumers. If the consumers disappear, everything goes.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
There will always be some level of creators. They only need a handful to feed. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the other way around, if the consumers drop off, and now there's more, if there's more creators than consumers, the platform wouldn't work. How much time do you spend on Instagram? Pull out your phone right now and look.
I'd be daily,
Yeah, but how much time a day? How many
maybe.
minutes? Have you ever actually looked at your time?
Very rarely, but I'd spend a bit on it. Not that it consumes me, but settings.
Dude, so last week I spent 3 hours on Instagram.
Says here my daily average is 3 hours.
That's on your phone.
Yeah. See weekly activity. There we go.
3 hours I spent on Instagram.
2 hours and 30 minutes. Oh, daily average 50 minutes on Instagram. And that's my most used app. Now, but again, I would say I'm a consumer and a creator. I would say I'm both.
I think most people are both.
Yeah.
Some people, very, very few people just create and don't spend any time on the platform.
I often, when I'm creating content, I often look for inspiration too. So I'll look at inspiration. I'll find a video that inspires me to create a video on that topic or similar to that. I often send it to the team. You know, I've sent Iggy emails before in the past where, I'll send it through, say, Instagram, say, hey, we should create a video like this, or we should do something like this, or we can twist this to suit this. So I often look at it from that perspective, but then there's an element sometimes of entertainment too, as well, for sure. There's things that entertain me. I'll send my wife memes all the time. She sends them, she goes, I never look at them because they're not funny. And then she sends me one. Then she sends me some, and then I'm like, that's the funniest thing ever. No, sorry, as in, I'm like, no, that's not funny. Mine's the funniest thing ever. Like, watch mine. So we pretty much send each other memes that we don't watch. I watch them because I'm a good bloke.
Yeah.
And I know she does. She does too. She just says she doesn't. She's just like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So you watched it.
Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely an aspect of me being a consumer too. But I would try and say I'm a creator as well. Both.
I think more people need to create.
Oh, without a doubt. That's the problem with all these businesses. I had this conversation with one of my guys the other day, the mentees that I got part of the program, and I was telling him, I said, look, he's trying to get more work. He goes, I don't actually have any work scheduled. I said, well, you've got to start like you're not, when was the last time you posted one of these pages? I said, mate, you haven't posted since December last year. I said, you're not building your brand. Okay, brand is a forever game. Just schedule it. And I said to him, after this call, get onto Facebook or Instagram, whatever, schedule the next month.
Did he?
He did for the week. And I haven't seen a post since. You know, so again, accountability. He is not putting in the reps. He's not doing the effort. Okay, schedule your whole month. Spend this Saturday. When your kids are in bed, get up at 6, spend an hour and schedule everything. For the whole month, you'll be sweet. You don't have to touch it again. And he did a few posts, but not many. But what I'm getting at is you're going to build your brand. And then when you start building your brand enough and getting enough traction, then you can go, okay, cool, let's do some ads.
Yeah. You don't need brand to do ads. But
no, you don't, but it can help. Yeah, it's definitely going to help. If you're running ads and you've got 3 photos, do you know what I mean? Or you haven't posted since, October last year.
That's an impact. I think another thing is as well, you're on social media. Social media is a cold audience. Yeah, you got to affect it. Okay, right now, did you go on Instagram today?
Yes.
What was the last ad you saw?
My own.
Really?
Yeah, it
that's the last one you remember.
That's the last one I remember.
Yeah, you don't remember the last one you saw.
Yeah.
No one ever does. I've asked that to so many people. No one ever remembers. Why? Because when we're on there, we're not looking for ads. We're scrolling mindlessly for these dopamine hits or whatever they are. And when you run ads, you're dealing with a cold audience. Do you know what I mean? If Tony Robbins put up a post, or you saw an ad for Tony Robbins saying, hey, come to my free event or something, you'd go running because he's got a powerful brand. If I put up that exact same headline, same copy, same everything, same image, I can do it in the exact same way. I won't get the same results.
Yeah.
The only difference there is brand. We can target the same audience, everything. I could deliver a better program. The only difference would be he's got a bigger brand. He would get better results based on that ad. So 100%, the bigger your brand, the more it has an impact on everything you do.
Yeah, but I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And what I was trying to get out through with him is I wanted him to just make it a monthly habit to be doing that, posting, scheduling his whole month ahead of him. And then if he doesn't have content to post, you can always do it off your phone. You can take some photos yourself when you're on site. It's got a 42 megapixel camera or something ridiculous like that now, the new phones. It's better than some of the $5,000, $10,000 cameras that we use in today's social media.
Yeah, it's not an excuse.
No, it's not. But also, you got to see it. A lot of people are scared to spend money on this stuff because, as you've said in the past, it's like I have to go backwards before I go forwards. They don't see the value in it. And I'm like, guys, you're creating an asset base. You're creating something that you can reschedule, repost in the future, a year down the track, 2 years down the track, whatever you want to do. And you need to invest in this space because if you don't, your competition will. This year, in the first 2 weeks, in the first 3 weeks of being open in the year, I received, I reckon, more inquiries to build homes for people than I did in all of 2022.
Yeah, but also, what did you do last year?
We were always building brand.
Yeah, you were running ads.
And we ran ads.
Consistently throughout the whole year.
Did not stop.
Yeah.
Did not stop. And now even this year, but that's not so much for Pascon. I did for all my other brands. But this year we're like I'm sitting with you and we're going to put a strategy together to start launching an aspect of what we're trying to sell at the construction company.
Yeah.
Like the biggest advantage you can have over your competition is to run ads. It's the biggest because 90%, and we do this at our events, when we're standing in front of people, say, put your hands up if you're running ads at the moment. And it's less than 5% of the room.
Yeah,
every
always.
Single time.
Always. There's almost
every
no
single
one.
time.
Yeah.
And even I guarantee you the guys that are running ads are probably not doing it that great because they're not spending enough money.
You know what?
They're like, I'll spend
Here's the
$300 in
thing.
ad spend this month. I only want to spend $5 a day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
You gotta, like, exactly. What are you going to reach your grandma? Like, fucking spend money.
You
Get
know,
the ROI.
Even for the people who don't do it great, they just need to get some result. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Once you're like, holy shit, this is working, like you don't go back, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, do you think people lack, going back to content creation, do you think people lack the ability to know what to
create?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But then that's where you can be guided if you employ a media agency or something like that too.
Yeah.
They can give you some ideas. They can give you that. But then again, if you're a consumer, what's your competition doing? Go on their webs, go on their pages, man. It's so simple. Use them as inspiration. Copy for if you really want. Don't post the same photo that's theirs, but copy it. Go, okay, cool. I can do a video like that. Or maybe you often see who their media company is. Get in touch with that company. Say, hey, can you create this content for me?
Dude, here's the thing as well. Like you can use, I've got this really good script, I'll share it. And you can use AI to come up with the ideas. Dude, and you can ask it for as many as you want. Yeah? You can say, give me 50 and you can take 5. Yeah. You can pick 5 that you actually know a lot about or you're an expert on and go and create content around that. And I'll share that script with everyone here. And it's go to ChatGPT. You're going to love this.
I can't wait.
Go to ChatGPT and type this in. Type in, I want you to do some research for me. I want you to act as an expert Instagram social media marketer. Tell me 10 frustrations, 10 desires, and 10 fears that, and then insert your target client there. So that builders, for example, have with, and then whatever it is that you do. So add the problem that you fix, how you fix it. Put it in a table format, label X-axis 1 to 10, Y-axis frustration, desires, and fears. And then you just got 30 pieces of content like that. And it literally does it in seconds. Mm-hmm. And then you got 30 different pieces of content that you can go and my advice is don't get scripts. Just talk to the camera.
Yeah.
Even if you need to do one sentence at a time and pause it and pause it and pause it, just talk to the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you read, very few people can read without it looking like a script, like they're reading a script.
I actually saw a video of a guy he created a piece of content in front of everyone, but he had a script, and what he did was, have you seen this?
I think I've seen it, yeah.
And he goes
Let
and
me
he
show
reads,
you. Yeah,
reads a sentence,
you.
and he goes and he'll say the sentence, and then he'll go back and look at it, and then he'll come back, and he'll say
video.
another sentence, and he'll go back and he'll say another sentence and another sentence, but then the end result, they edited the video, because all videos are chopped now, right? That's the format that's doing really well. And because we don't want to waste time. And
it gets rid of sometimes ums and ahs and
it does
all that sort of stuff too.
Yeah. And it just saves the dead space.
Yeah.
It turns a minute of talking into like 30 seconds, sometimes less. And he did it like that, and it come up fine at the end.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you can do that. You can literally.
And that's something great for your confidence as a perspective of, I can't speak well in front of camera. Well, okay, say one sentence. Just say, g'day everyone, great to have you here.
Yeah,
and then look at your script. So today I want to talk to you about the importance of using light gauge steel frames.
Yeah, but you don't even have to pause it.
Yeah,
you can just let it roll the whole time.
If you feel someone that you need it up, yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, you can just go and come back and then say the next one, and then say the next one, and then they'll just chop out the gaps.
Yeah.
And then you've got a perfect piece of content that AI has given you the topic
Inspiration.
to use. It's given you the inspiration. You've shared your knowledge. You've now put out a piece of content. You've added value to the market. Oh, that's another thing, dude. Like, add value to your market.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's about them. It's not about you. So social media, at the end of the day, you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to entertain or you're going to educate. That's what it's about. Entertain or educate. And if you can hit the nail on both of those, that's great, because sometimes you can make entertaining videos. You can make a quirky, funny video. You can make something that educates people to say, this is how I do this. Because, they say, what is it, to become a master or an expert, you've got to do 10,000 hours in something? Is that what it is? Something like that.
The 10,000 hour rule.
Yeah, something like that. You think about what you do in your life and your profession. You are probably an expert in your field. If you really think about it, whatever you're doing, it could be bookkeeping, it could be whatever it is. You are probably an expert. If you're in your 30s, you're probably an expert at what you do. So you can put value in the market space. Say, hey, this is what I found whenever a butcher. This is the best way to cut a rump steak. This is the best way to marinate. This is the best way to smoke your meat.
How good's steak?
Man. It's breakfast. I could go for a steak right now.
Steak and eggs for breakfast?
Steak. 10 a.m. We're filming this at 10 a.m. I would go for a steak right now.
10 a.m.
Yeah. Definitely not a vegetarian.
Or a vegan.
Or a vegan. What's wrong with you guys? You guys all right? You want to talk about it? We've got to do something controversial. We're speaking. This too
much value.
There's too much value going
controversy.
Okay, great example. This podcast. We're putting out content. This is content creation. We are putting out value.
This is content
We're
creation.
having a conversation about social media. We're having a conversation about things that we do that you guys should be doing.
This is fun, but
yeah, it's also fun, but it's also time consuming as well. You telling me you got nothing else to do today?
No, got a million things on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had to block this time out.
That's right. So, and
we do
I'm going to do
regularly.
this. Yeah, I'm going to do this, and then I've got another business meeting at 3 p.m. today. So I know chunking this out half a day to film our podcast is something that takes effort, takes money, and I need to set time aside to do it. But I believe so much in what we're doing and what we're talking about and the value that we're going to give people that it's not really that big of a deal. And have you once, since sitting here, thought about those cameras recording us? Because we not only record the audio, we also record the video. So for anyone listening, if you like to watch this on YouTube, you can go to the YouTube right now and watch this clip at 1, 2, 3 cameras that we've got set up that Iggy's helped us out with. And you can watch this on YouTube. Now, not once have I thought about the camera since being here. I haven't checked my hair. I haven't straightened my collar. We're here and we're recording, knowing that they are also recording.
I used to, when we first started, I used to look at the camera a lot more.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
They used to talk to the
kinda
camera.
like it.
You do?
I kind of liked the content that was coming out of it.
Oh, okay.
Because I'd stop and I'd face the camera and it was like talking to the audience. It was like, pause for a second. Whereas now I don't.
Yeah, I like not. I think
Yeah,
I think from a content perspective, it's good to see, like when we're doing our micro content, you're cutting it up, the video.
Yeah.
It's good because we're having that conversation with each other or with a guest that we have on board. And it's simply about us going, hey.
Yeah.
So I feel that gives us a bit more, maybe authority, as opposed to just looking at the camera saying, hey guys, you should do this.
Hey guys.
And what I mean by that is you should be following and subscribing to this channel.
All right, so what? Let's wrap up with this. What's something someone can do right now? Someone who knows that they need to change the way that they're playing the social media game. Someone who knows it's important. Someone who knows that they need to do something, or they've done something in the past but they've dropped off. What should that person do?
They should create more content.
Yeah.
Simply.
What are some,
All right. So just put yourself out there. Start doing some research if you need to. Look at your competitors. So we're talking from a business sense?
Whatever. Could be either or.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
I guess
this
all
is the
social
other
media
thing.
at the end of the day is like you build a personal brand, you become an influencer, it's a business.
Yeah,
Anything
we've
you
said
do
this
on social
before.
media ends up being a business.
Like, what do you love? Start there.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Peanut
What do you love? What do you really enjoy doing? Is it playing video games? Is it walking your dog? Is it going to the beach? What do you love? Is it drawing? Like, what do you really enjoy? Start there and post about that, because that'll be easier for you to create content. You'll think about ideas just from the things that you love. So start there. And then branch out. If you want to go into your business stuff, go, cool, this is what I want to talk about here. And remember, you are an expert. You have value that you can give. There is someone that knows something that I don't know that has less experience than me. And I could watch that video and learn about it.
Yeah. Someone somewhere is walking the path that you're walking just behind you.
And everyone started with 0 followers. People get hung up on that. Oh, I don't have 10,000 followers. I don't have 5,000 followers. This isn't going to work for me. I'm going to get 3 likes. Like, stop worrying about the count and start focusing on the value. Because do you know something that actually really inspired me? This is honestly what's inspired me the most to create content and to do this podcast. It actually drives me in every single post I do. And that is that the internet's forever. This is going to be here for such a long time, unless there's some Skynet. Something Skynet.
AI.
That's right, taking over. The internet's going to be here forever.
I'm going to be on their side.
Yeah, and my kids can watch this when I go. My grandkids can watch this when I go. Their kids and their kids and their kids. They will know their great-great-great-great-great-grandfather just by following my social media. Because that account's not going to get deleted when I go. I say, here it is. This is my account. I could have 1,000 followers.
Too much?
With what?
Like, the internet would just become flooded?
No, how?
Like, there would be billions of videos on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Billions.
Yeah, but I'm talking...
At what point?
Why wouldn't it be specific if my future generations that came from me, why wouldn't they want to go and search that? Like I've said it before, imagine now, because we're at that generation where our grandparents didn't have social media. Imagine I could go back their great-great-grandfather and watch him cook a lamb on the spit in Greece saying, this is the best way to do it no other way. Like, what a connection. I could have that connection, I could see what he was like. Maybe he looked like me. Maybe he's talked like me.
Yeah.
You know, there's such a great connection there. And I get a lot of inspiration from that, knowing that I can still have that conversation with them. They can see what I was like. Maybe I can teach them something about life, about business, about anything. It's always going to be there.
Do you think what we share today will be relevant in 100 years?
Yeah, for sure. It's communication at the end of the day.
Well, what if the way we communicate
It'll just change? But yeah, and that's what it is. But it's what... Will Instagram and Facebook be around in 100 years? Don't know.
No way.
It could be something else. It could still be. Why not?
Dude.
Meta's one of the biggest companies in the world.
Now.
Yeah.
So was Nokia 25 years ago.
Yeah, I know. But they're continuously, I think a lot of these companies have learned to, especially a company like a Meta and Apple and all these guys, they're learning to evolve. They're not playing small. Do you know what I mean? Like when Facebook bought
here's the thing.
Instagram.
People think Nokia didn't evolve. Nokia did. They didn't believe people don't want buttons. Do you know what I mean? They didn't buy into that whole concept. They were like, a phone without buttons, that seems stupid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They didn't buy into that. Same thing.
So then they didn't evolve. Their beliefs.
But hold on. So people, you don't know what's going to be right.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Gary
true.
Vee talks about how he never believed that people would jump into cars with randoms.
Yeah,
He's like,
Uber.
I never ever bought into it. He's like, I had the chance to invest $25,000. It'd be worth $300 million today. He goes, and I just could not. For me, like that whole concept didn't make sense. Like I did not believe people were going to be like, hey, my 13-year-old daughter, go jump in a car with this random guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He goes, that seemed so bizarre. He goes, but look now, Uber's worth how many billion?
Yeah. I'm not to say they won't always be the biggest. I'm not saying they need to be the biggest company, but the likelihood of them being around in 100 years is high, I would have thought.
100 years? Yeah. How many companies survive 100 years, dude?
Well, I reckon there'd be a few. I don't know. But maybe the technology wasn't there for them back then. There's more advantages to businesses being around these days, I reckon.
No, but that's because what we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that...
Yeah, and learn from in the past.
Yeah, but the thing with the future is we can't see what's coming.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But I do
We
believe,
don't know.
I think some of these organizations, I'm not saying it may not be the Facebook and Instagram itself, the program, but it could be a different iteration of it. It could be a different brand. It's like, Facebook has gone out. Remember when they bought Instagram and they paid $1 billion and everyone lost their fucking mind that a company paid $1 billion for a social media platform? Are you guys mental? And what's Instagram worth now? Billions upon billions.
And billions, yeah.
And
It looks
that was
like-
a
it looks
smart
like a
move.
steal, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with WhatsApp. They did the same thing with WhatsApp, and they bought that, and then they're doing Threads, and they're doing all these other things. It's not to say that those platforms will be around, but something will be.
They did the same. So there's always the thing that changes the game is someone doesn't sell out. See, all these other people, they're doing it for the wrong purpose. They sell it. Like the Instagram,
Yeah.
full credit to them, built a great platform, but they sold out. They were money driven.
At the end of the day,
Yeah, they were money driven. They weren't like, this is bigger than. Do you think Elon Musk would sell out of SpaceX? Like, do you think there's a figure? There's no figure. You know what I mean? There's nothing where you can say, give him this much, give him $1 trillion. He's going to sit there like, I don't want your money. Like, this is not about money. He's not doing it for money. You know what I mean? And there eventually will be a company that will come up, or it might be around now. I don't know. But like, Snapchat's a great example. They're not doing great, but like, they didn't sell it. They had the opportunity to sell it to Facebook. They did it. They were like, nah, we're going to go head to head with you. And they're losing.
yeah.
But-
Do you have Snapchat?
Yeah.
I don't. I've never opened one.
You've never had a Snapchat.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
Don't know. I've just never had one.
Do it now.
Nah.
Come on.
Okay.
There's,
All right. Done. Yeah, I've never had one.
it's, yeah, I don't use it that much, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Like if you want to send your mate something, you're doing something, or you want to send them a video, tell them to get their life together. It's a great platform to do that.
To bully them?
Yeah, it's a great platform for that. Yeah, but I reckon a company will come up that will eventually surpass these things.
Yeah, look, maybe one of those decisions they make. Say the decision to buy Instagram for $1 billion sent Meta bankrupt. Then someone else comes in and says, "Yeah, we'll buy Meta now." So yeah, I'm sure that can
Then the
happen.
company
But there
stays
will
alive.
always be but there will always be something there for us to communicate. Like now, you came in this morning and you go, "Have you seen those goggles that Apple just brought out?"
Yeah,
All right, and you go, how sick was that? And you see what it does. And you say, yeah, it's cool.
but that's now.
That's
Where do you think
now.
we're going to be in 100 years?
That's right. I don't think it'll probably just be a pair of glasses in 100 years.
What? It's going to be a pair of glasses in the next 5 years.
Or contacts.
That's going to be
Do
the
you know what I
next
mean? With contact lenses. Put these
5 to 10
contact
years.
lenses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 to 10 years.
But it'll be just another form of communication. And then people will evolve to that and they'll change to that, or they won't. Or they'll be stuck in their ways for a little while, but then eventually everyone will do it. It's like, even Elon's talking about like walking around with chips in your head.
That's now happening.
Yeah.
Someone's got it implanted.
Yeah. And even, how we do payway for everything, to pay everything, having a chip in your hand. Right, just tap and go. Just that it's already implanted under my skin. And they do that in 50 years' time, they do that. So you get your immunisation shots when you're a kid, and then they implant a chip as well.
That's sick.
Yeah, but it could.
They reckon
What's to
it's sick.
say? Yeah, fucking oath. But what's to say that won't be the case in that year, in those time?
It will be.
It's going to be the norm. Now you think, you go, that's just like, there's no chance, I'm not going to do that. But like in 100 years' time, who knows what it's going to be? Who knows?
I'd do it.
You would?
Wouldn't you do it?
Put a chip under my skin?
Yeah.
No, not now.
Why?
What for? Why am I going to put a foreign body into my skin, into my body? A foreign thing into my body? What for?
What, are you all about being natural?
To a degree. Like, I'm not going to put a chip under my skin so I can fucking pay people.
Okay, hold on. So are you trying to tell me that if Neuralink will go viral in the next however
If
many...
I couldn't walk and it could help me walk, absolutely. Beam me up, Scotty.
But so what if it could... That's one side of it.
Yeah.
And that's probably what they're going to utilize it for first. But what about the other side? Like
Which
being connected directly. Like being able to have a thought and Googling it. Like sitting there like, oh, what is blah, 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 whatever it is. And you can think for a second and boom, and you got it. And you're like, oh, yeah, it's this.
I don't have that desire,
You don't think it's an advantage?
potentially. And it does, yeah, maybe.
You wouldn't have had a desire to post on social media 20 years ago either.
Yeah.
Imagine
I don't know. I still don't think in
Imagine-
my lifetime I would do anything like that.
Imagine you went to someone's house in the 90s and they showed you a picture of their breakfast. Wouldn't you freak? Like,
Why?
look at this photo.
Oh, on a camera that they took like
Yeah, it's like a printed photo. Yeah, they're like, look at this, and say breakfast.
Yeah.
Just do like, you took a photo of your breakfast.
Put it like framed it.
Isn't
put it on
that
the wall.
Isn't that bizarre?
Just the whole wall, no family photos, just breakfast photos.
Your whole wall.
Okay, so just on that, but there's people,
People do that.
There's people out there that just go to cafe and take photos of breakfast.
Hey,
and
I
they
wanna
love
make
it, and they do that, and they have such a great.
I want to do that. I
connection.
want to do that.
Take photo of your
No,
breakfast.
I want to do this. I want to go to burger shops and just. Yeah, have you seen those videos of people eating?
Yeah,
Like those ASMR videos?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to go and just eat smash burgers in front of a camera.
yeah, and then do
I love
voiceover.
burgers. No.
Just you eating a burger.
Just listen,
That's it.
guys, this is it. I'll smash the thing down in like 90 seconds.
Yeah.
So you'll watch me devour the burger and then I'll tell you.
There was this cool.
And then I'll give you a rating. And I'll be like,
go check it out.
7.8.
There was this bloke in America, and I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about.
The black guy.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Anyway, he's cool, and he speaks in sort of monotone. I don't know if you've ever seen it on TikTok. I think it is. And he's like, "Hey everyone, today I'm going to I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat Krispy Kreme's donuts, and I'm going to try these things. These are their best sellers. I tried to do this, and blah, blah, blah." And anyway, he goes through the story, and he'll go to like struggling restaurants and give them a hype up if their food's good. He'll rate it out of 10. He goes, and then he'll sit there and goes, "Today I ate the Jimmy Cheese burger, and I like to eat this." And he goes, I like the saltiness and I like the cheese, but I think the patty could do a bit better. And he goes, "I'm going to give this overall enjoyable. It's a 6 out of 10. And then he'll keep up. He's got millions upon millions upon millions of followers.
There is a level of joy people get from watching people eat.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going down that path. I'm purely just saying, again, from that perspective of doing something he loves and enjoy doing. You want to go do burgers.
Yeah.
What's to say that becomes bigger than your own brand of business that
become
you're
the
trying to
burger
do?
guy.
You become the burger guy. Robert, the burger guy. That's the tag.
Robert the burger guy.
That's the tag. We're going to open up the platform today.
I thought you were going to talk about the pizza guy.
No. Oh, is that the one that like Italian guy?
Barstool.
There's one that goes, "Would you like a corner or a side?" Have you seen that one? No. I'm going to show you. It's cool too.
You know Barstool Sports?
Think so?
You'd know him. If I showed you a photo, you'd know him. I can't remember his name. No, I can't remember. But he goes and he gets the pizza and he goes to all different places in the US. And his rule is one bite, and he takes a bite from the front and a bite from the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so he gets the front and the crust.
Yeah.
And then he rates it.
Do you like
just
crust?
one bite. Yeah, I like crust.
I like crust.
Yeah.
A good crust is sick.
Yeah, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
Can't
Are
be
you now on pizza? I love pizza too. I believe
Yeah.
you like pizza too.
Pizza connoisseur.
Well, it says it in your tag.
Instagram.
It's on your bio. It must be real.
Self-proclaimed. I can cook a good pizza.
Yeah, it's a not bad one in the Weber.
Pizza. Weber?
Yeah.
Weber?
Yeah, have you ever done one in Weber?
No.
Come over, I'll change your life.
Serious? Nah, proper wood fire.
I don't have one of those.
Yeah, I don't own one.
So do you prefer like the gourmet pizzas? So
Depends how I
like
feel.
prosciutto and all that sort of shit? Or do you prefer traditional ones? Like shredded ham, that style?
I don't eat ham.
Of course you don't.
But I probably prefer... I don't like potato on pizza, like that sort of...
Yeah,
like the
gourmet
rosemary
stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
gourmet type person. I like the traditional pizza.
Yeah.
Okay, another one. Pineapple on pizza. Yes, or no? Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
100%.
It's such a yes.
Anyone that says no doesn't know how to evolve. That's the truth.
They should unsubscribe from this podcast.
Yeah. There's only one thing that doesn't belong on pizzas, and it's anchovies.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
If you're a fan, unsubscribe now. Dude, anchovies are the lowest. One of my... there's not much I don't eat. It's one of the things I won't eat.
Yeah, there you go.
Like if you bring me a pizza, I could be starving. If there's anchovies on it, I'm going to flip.
And you can't even eat around it.
No,
you can't even take the anchovies off because you'll still taste it the whole way through.
It's ruining humanity.
On that bombshell. So I often get asked, like, what's the next platform? What's the next big thing? What do you tell people that ask you that? Where should I be posting?
Yeah, so you and I have differing opinions here. And I I post everywhere myself, but when people ask me this, because I get asked this a lot, when people ask this, I tell them to get one right.
Yeah.
Only because not because doing them all at once is wrong. I just don't think people are going to do them all at once.
Yeah, that's
what
true.
it is.
That's exactly true.
Do you know what I mean? And I just try and make the game easy to win. And I tell them, just do one. Like,
And
just
then
post. Like,
but
just
still
post
go
on
to the other
Instagram.
one as well.
Hey?
Eventually still do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But
But if you're going to do Instagram, you're going to do Facebook because it's literally a button that says post to
also,
Facebook.
like, just do Meta, for
Yeah.
example. You know, like, just get into the habit of creating content for one particular thing. And then you can, I've been doing this for 3 months, whatever it is, and I've got into the habit and I know what I'm doing. Now, go find yourself a platform that can allow you to take that piece of content and post it on YouTube or to post it on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Did you ever get onto Clubhouse?
No.
Yeah. I did, but I never really... Someone recommended I create content on there, and I think for a little while it was getting amazing engagement. I don't know what it's like anymore. I don't think it's great from what I understand. But Clubhouse was one of those apps that just exploded overnight, and everyone was on it, and everyone was talking, and it was really cool. My advice to anyone that say, what's the next platform? Because a lot of people want to go onto the next platform and become the next big thing. My advice to you is just try it and give it a go. If it's something you think may or may not work, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
If a new platform
a new platform comes out, or like at the moment, TikTok is getting the best engagement of most of those platforms. It is. And if that's something you're interested in, well, then go and start creating content on there. It's not about just dancing and lip syncing videos anymore. I post educational stuff, mostly on TikTok. Have I done some entertaining things? Yeah, I have as well. But
do you know who was good? Got onto TikTok early?
Gary? Yeah. He said it he said it when it used to be called something
2017.
else. It used to be called
He
something
was
else.
telling people about TikTok. Nah, I don't.
Musically.
That's not TikTok.
Isn't it? I thought it was.
No, they're two different.
There was one that was... TikTok used to be called something else.
Musically is its own thing, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure... Check.
You might be right. I'm not sure. I remember Musically. Yeah, Musically was a social media service headquartered in Shanghai. Yeah. Musically was its own.
No, it was this. Before TikTok became TikTok, it was called Musically. There it is.
Oh, I've got something different here. It says
Well,
the company was shut down.
Google is right. Your Google's wrong.
My Google's better than yours.
So, yeah, pretty cool.
Oh, okay. So in 2016, a Chinese tech company named ByteDance acquired Musically and merged it with its own app, and they called it TikTok.
Oh, okay. So it got bought out.
Yeah. So pretty much was.
Yeah, he was on it early.
Yeah, there you go. I remember.
And he's been. It's his gift. It's his claim to fame, isn't it?
That he catches on early.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
But
he's
he's also said, for every platform that I've been right on, there's 200 I've been wrong on as well. So he also he tries everything. He's a practitioner. His first big one was Twitter. Like he went that he hit was Twitter, and then YouTube and Google Ads.
Well, no. So do you know what he did with YouTube though? In like 2010, where he thought Vimeo or some of the other platforms was going to take off.
Yeah.
And he's like,
and he invested
I
in
was
that.
convinced that this is going to blow YouTube out of the water, and he pulled everything he had off YouTube.
Yeah.
And he went to the other platform, and it didn't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so he tried.
Yeah. And full credit to him.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. He employs hundreds of people now in his media business and all the other ones that he's got.
You only have to be right once.
Yep. Yeah.
You only have to be right once.
So true.
That's from The Founder. Have you seen The Founder?
I have. Is that the Macca's one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. I've started. But
Yeah,
I haven't watched
I'm
it.
a movie buff. You know?
I don't watch movies.
Dude.
I've got it saved in my
You still haven't watched
my watch
Superman?
list. No, I've got so much to do in my life.
Come on, man.
I don't watch TV anymore.
Come on. Trust me.
I will.
You won't.
No, I will. I definitely will. Do you know what it is? It's because I'm not subscribed to.
I'll give you a
Stan.
load.
Okay, I'll just use yours.
I would never do that, Stan.
Just give it. Never do that, Stan.
Yeah.
Never do
Don't
that.
worry,
to you,
Stan. I got you back.
Sick. That was a good episode.
That was very good.
So, in summary,
Go fucking record a video now.
do it. How good?
That's
You know
the
what?
summary.
Tag us in it. We'll reshare it.
I won't. No, I will.
Collaboration with other people.
Dude,
just so you mentioned that.
This
You should definitely collaborate with other people that are in your niche if you want, and you get to leverage off their brand and your brand. Like there's so many ways for you to benefit from this space that, like, you're just not doing the work. You're just not doing the research. Like go and research as well. Like get onto Google and type whatever you're interested in and start looking at what platforms to post it on, how to do it, when to do it. And you'll just start, it may not be the thing that you do, but it'll help you get educated in that space.
You don't know who is going to watch your video.
Yes.
And it's going to change.
Yes.
You know, and we'll wrap up with this. So we slice up a lot of this content. And I don't know if you remember this, but I shared a way to handle if you have an angry customer.
Yes, I remember.
You remember? Mm-hmm. Dude, I got a message the other day. Someone said, hey, man, I saw your video about how to handle angry customers. And I tried it and it worked. And he's like, it worked in real life. And I'm like, no shit, it worked. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's like, that's awesome. Like, and then you get that like level of feedback. Like someone went and, you know, consumed what you put out and took action with it. And it made an impact in their life. Yeah. And that in itself makes everything else.
And then imagine when you say that one person, what if it's a high roller? Like, dude, what if it's someone that comes in and goes, oi.
What about the people who won't even tell you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do you consume something? Do you go back and tell them every time? I don't.
Never.
Yeah, exactly.
Never. So very rarely. I've done it like maybe once or twice.
Yeah. How? And you'd probably have to know the person quite well.
No, I've done it to a random once too.
Oh, you're like,
I remember there was this one video I watched. I can't remember what platform it was, but I actually was that hit home. I'm like, man, that was a sick video. Well done. And I followed him. Random guy. I don't even know who it was. But it was a good video. That one video, it impacted me enough to actually send him a message. Say that was a sick video. Well done. That's what it takes. It takes one video. Yeah. But what I'm getting at is you never know the connection that it'll make for you in your future, in your life. And it might not be the day you post it. It could be 2 years down the track.
Yeah.
I had a client that one of the very first videos I made, which was about building a basement and what to do, someone watched that in December last year and sent me a message about wanting to build their house in a nice suburb. I can't remember where. But I made that video 2 years ago. No more. It was like 7 years ago. And today, last year in December, I got a video. And I got a phone call. And so they went onto my page. They then went to our website, and then they sent us an inquiry through the website and say, hey, we're looking to build here. Can you have a look at it? Now, that could be a $2 million job from a video I made 7 years ago. $2 million job. And what if it's that one person that changes your life? And he goes, oi, I've been following you for a while. I've got a new TV show. I want you to be the host.
Yeah. Or
we'll give you $450,000 a year. We'll give you royalties. We'll give you this. We'll give you this. We'll give you this. Changes your life.
Yeah. Dude, imagine that one person who saw that video for you. If that person is just the most connected person and he says, okay, cool, come build this house. You go build that $1, $5, $10 million house, whatever it is. He says, okay, cool. I got a group of 30 people that all want you to build their similar size house. Yeah. You just picked up 30 jobs at $5 million a pop.
That's it. Or he turns around and says, I want to stop my job. I've got lots of money. Yeah. I don't want to do this. I just want to develop now. I want you to be my own one and only builder. Close down the rest of your business.
Yeah, I don't want you to work for anyone else. I'll pay you
X amount more. I'm going to
give you a set rate.
We'll give you a split. It changed your life.
Everything, yeah.
But you know, it's like those examples. Have you seen, people digging underground? And it's like there's got one tunnel and he's digging towards a diamond, and then the other one digging towards diamond as well, and he stops about 2 centimeters away from the jackpot.
Yeah.
And then they walk away. It's like that. You don't know what video it's going to be. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep putting out the content. You've got to keep utilizing social media as a way for you to create and generate everything in your life.
You know, that's a true story.
Oh, is it really?
Digging thing, yeah.
No, I didn't
Apparently
know that.
A guy went and there's a whole thing. It's got something to do with, I believe, the gold rush.
Yeah, right.
And a guy went and hired all this equipment, blah, blah, blah. And he went on like a big dig and he stopped because he thought he'd wasted all this money and it wasn't going to work. And then someone come and dug a little bit more and hit like a ridiculous amount of gold. And I'm pretty sure the person was suicidal after it.
Yeah.
Or ridiculously depressed or something. But yeah, you just got to keep going.
Keep going, guys. Create the content. Use all the platforms there. They're there for you to use. And you never know where it can lead.
Exactly.
Okay, I reckon that's a pretty good note to finish up on.
I agree.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. Much appreciated as always. And as I said, top right-hand corner is the button that you need to be pressing to subscribe on every platform. That's where it is. It's 100% in the top right-hand corner.
Someone's going to pull out their phone and look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, speaking of creating content, this is content, right?
Yeah.
We can see who listens on what platform.
Yeah, and we know your name.
Spotify's the number one.
We know where you live.
Spotify's number one.
And we know a lot of your deep, dark secrets because we can see all of that because it's all a conspiracy. The Meta has given us all the details.
Yeah. So
Zuck's emailed it to us.
If you don't subscribe,
we'll knock on your door.
Yeah.
And we'll stand there with our phone and say, press the subscribe button right now.
Yeah.
Press it.
Or we'll start taping you until you sweat.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you listening in. Tune in next week for more of us dropping bombs. This is Top George signing off.
Thanks, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.